In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how I achieved the black stained effect that you see here on the right finished clay coil vessel. I have watered down black underglaze using 50% glaze and 50% water. This has been mixed up in a big 3-gallon bucket. First, stir the mixture together to make sure it's all properly mixed up. Then you're going to take your clay coil vessel, once bisque fired, and you're going to dip it into the bucket. You might have to use a cup if your vessel is very large and scoop some of the mixture of the underglaze stain into your vessel, but fully cover the entire product so that it is all black with underglaze. Let the excess drip off. Pour it out of the vessel. Hold it over top of the bucket and let all of the liquid that is able to drip off come off of the vessel. You're going to see some bubbles and you're going to hear an interesting sound. That's because your clay is porous. So that sound is coming from some of this watery underglaze actually soaking into the clay body itself. If you look carefully here, you can see some popping bubbles. That's actually showing you where the watery underglaze is soaking into the clay. Again, you're going to hear a really interesting sound here. There's nothing wrong with that. Just let it absorb and then double check inside your vessel that there's not a pool of underglaze that needs to be dumped out. Now, don't be afraid if a little bit of the glaze comes off onto your hands, because next, once we let this dry completely, we're going to be sponging off the outside edge of the clay coil vessel, exposing all of that design. You can see that I'm using a sponge here. I got the sponge wet, but then I squeezed all the excess water off. As I work on this, I'm using clean areas of the sponge to remove more of the black underglaze. When I feel like I have a pretty dirty sponge, I just rinse it in the water. And then again, I squeeze all the water out that I can get out. I want that sponge to be almost dry. You're gonna have to work on this kind of carefully and slowly to get all of the excess color off. Again, you just want the black to be in the cracks. I would try to be careful with the hand that goes inside the vessel, making sure that it's as dry as possible, because you do want to keep the black underglaze inside the vessel to give it that solid color. Work on the entire outside and also clean off the bottom so that your name can be read on the bottom. And lastly, don't worry if the color looks gray. Once fired in the kiln with a gloss glaze applied on top, that color will be nice and dark and black, and your vessel will be shiny wherever you put the gloss glaze.